What up, fellow veggie lovers? Chris in the kitchen today, and I'm going to show you how to turn a standard frozen veggie burger into a delicious vegan steak. I know what it's like. Us vegetarians, us vegans, we go out to a restaurant, we see our friend, they order a big old steak, we see that stranger's big old steak, it looks succulent, juicy, tasty, but we remember that we don't mess around with that. We mess with carrots, we mess with broccoli, we mess with mushrooms, but we don't screw around with steak because meat is murder. So today I'm going to show you how to turn something run-of-the-mill. You know, you don't always have access to a good vegan steak because you always got to make it. So I'm going to start you halfway there, all right? So you just buy this. This is a Morningstar Farms 100% vegetarian patty. We're going to turn it into a 100% awesome vegan steak. Let's get started. Okay, so while our skillet is preheating, you got to open up your bag. So I already got it started. Okay, check it out, check it out. Now this Morningstar, you don't have to get the Morningstar, but if you do, it'll help you follow the recipe easier. You get the Morningstar veggie burger. I know what you're thinking, this doesn't look like much of a steak so far, but remember, this is a good recipe. This is gonna taste delicious. Now, normally this is supposed to be frozen. I've had it defrosting for the last hour or so, so I think it's gonna help it get that nice tender crunch that you're used to in your standard meat steaks. So, first thing you need to do, according to this, is to spray your skillet with some oil. I don't have any cooking spray, so I'm gonna use some vegan canola oil. So you're just gonna drop a little bit in there, because remember, you probably got this frozen. So I'm gonna give you a better perspective now. Okay, so first thing you're gonna do is get your clean hands, don't put any dirty hands on my food, and put it in this oil-soaked skillet. Just like this. Move it around. Get it all in there. There you go. And now, if you're just following directions, which you want to do for a little bit, until you get bored of them, but it says you're just going to cook it on medium heat for 10 to 11 minutes. I say screw that. Kick that up to 11. Oh, shit. Alright. There we go. 11. 10 to 15 minutes at 11. Don't worry, this video is going to be shorter than that because, you know, people don't have attention spans anymore. Okay, about reached the halfway point here. So the halfway point, you're going to want to turn this over. See that? I haven't done anything special except put canola oil, vegan canola oil. But already this thing is already starting to look delicious, like a real steak. Like there's no vegetables involved at all. Even though that's what we love, vegetables. Next thing you're going to do is get this bad boy. This is a white wine. This is Chateau Sweet Michelle. Pop this baby open, alright? Be careful because flames are involved. You're just going to pour a little bit in there. Pour it directly on the meat. Oh shit. Alcohol is very flammable, so be careful and don't let it just sit directly on your steak too long. Flip it over. And trap the alcohol underneath your steak. Alright, so the next thing you're probably going to notice is a certain smell. There's a certain odor that permeates from frozen meat patties or veggie meat patties. It might not be appealing. Now here's where, you know, the fixing comes in, because we're making a better steak than what was provided in the bag. So first thing you're going to do is get some steak seasoning. Now I know this is for real steaks, but that doesn't mean we can't throw it on a vegetable. Doesn't mean it's not going to help our veggie patty taste like a real steak without the meat and murder. Just pour a bunch of that in. Oh shoot. Just pour a bunch in there. There's no amount too small in this case. Alright, we're almost done. So next thing you want to do is get some A1 sauce. You might be starting to see a theme, but you want to make this as much of a real steak as possible without actually eating any meat. So you're just going to open this sucker up. Oh my gosh. With your dominant hand, apparently. Vegans, right? Just pour this thing right on there. Just like that. Just let it simmer. Oh, it smells so much better now. Okay, so we are pretty much done. This is the final product. Looks amazing. Now, you might want to cut it into the shape of an actual steak, but me personally, I like to get as much of this as possible. So this is pretty much it. You can still see it sizzling, even though the flame is, well, actually the flame is still on. We better make sure that we turn that off. You just stick that right on the plate. Now, even though this is now off, you might still hear some sizzling, because I'm making one for myself as well. Looks a little bit different, but Yours is way better.
Alright, let me just finish this up. I'm just going to stick my steak right next to your steak. And yours is kind of in the way. There we go.
Okay, we're almost done here, but there's a couple more finishing touches I want to show you before you dig in. First thing you want to do is get your steak way away from my steak. Next thing you're going to want to do is get some butter. Every steak needs butter, even vegan steak. So what you're going to want to do is get your Land O'Lakes garlic butter. Ooh, you let it sit out for about an hour, 30 minutes, even 20 minutes before you start cooking. I let mine sit out about 3 hours just to get it soft so it melts real nice and quick. Just put it on like you're toasting bread. Mine is a ribeye. They were out. I mean, there is like 3 or 4 patties in the bag of the veggie burger. There's about 4 of these. So you can serve a whole family. I am going with the ribeye today simply because I don't want to take any of your veggie burgers. And yours are much better. You have a
man steak.
This is a sissy steak. So don't even bother with this one. Don't worry about it. All right, we're almost there. So you put your garlic butter on your steak. Finally, as I'm sure you remember to do, you made a plate full of bacon before you started. What you're gonna wanna do is save that grease and just pour some all over your veggie burger because you need to do something. You need to do something. It's not gonna fix itself. So now you get yourself a butter knife because you're not gonna need much more power than this, and a fork, and you are good to go. One more step. That's for you, Playboy. You're gonna need it.